All right, Shalom. So this is Gedalia. I'm making this video on why I joined Sicarii and what I gained, what I am thinking of gaining out of it. So to make a long story short, instead of going off this direction and that direction, to kind of really pinpoint why I joined Sicarii. It'll be way too long of a video. I'll just kind of be more direct. So the reason I joined Sicarii was because I really related to the points of views and aspects, and I guess the character that are coming in these videos. How they were approaching people through these videos. So I was like, I can definitely relate to the attitude, because there's already an attitude that I already had, and and the point of view. Um, yeah. So that is the reason. Oh, and you know, I related to that, so it started drawing me. But it wasn't necessarily like that's part of the reason why I accepted to join Sakari. The main reason why I joined Sicarii was because the videos were saying that I think it was Cap saying to that when people agreed with them on their mindset of looking at the Caucasian as our enemies, and that we can never be friends, that we need to be on the other side with them and help them spread the gospel. Will help them spread. I wouldn't exactly. I mean, now I kind of look at the gospel. Before then, I would have never looked at it as the gospel. I would have looked at it as be on the side with them and inform our people and kind of pull them out of the matrix. So I was like, heck yeah, I want to participate and join. Which I've been included in other groups. Trying to take our people out of manipulation, out of brainwashing. But some of those groups are very inclusive. They're very tight on how they include certain members on certain activities, and those groups they really get involved in a lot of activity, serious activity on on the warfare aspect. So, and I started seeing Sicarii, or not only Sicarii, but I started noticing these Hebrew Israelite groups, they're not so inclusive. I mean, as long as you're Black, Hispanic, and Native American, you're involved in, pushing the truth out. I mean, I really didn't understand the whole aspect of the ranks and all that stuff, but I do know that, people were um, allowed in to participate and push the truth out, that that our people need to look at the enemy as an enemy and not befriend him, and that Christianity is wicked and evil, and it does psychological damage to our people. It creates self-hatred and all that stuff. So yeah, I started noticing that about the Hebrew Israelite groups. And since I kind of was drawn more into the character of Sicarii as being okay, like I can work with these people, I can work with this organization, you know, I agree with the way they're breaking down certain scriptures with a mindset that, or at least yeah, kind of like a mindset, or a method that I know that my people are known for using. So I was like, this definitely sounds more relatable to, something truth, something that most likely this is how it played out. So, um, yeah, I got a hold of Deacon and wanted to, join in so I can help bring out the truth. And so, um, that is the reason why I joined Sicarii, because I've been in the path of, I guess I've been in the path of figuring shit out, figuring stuff out, you know, and as, time went on, I started realizing, that my people are not Spaniards, we're not Latinos, and, you know, kind of scraping through the lies and figuring truths out. And then, this kind of seemed like it added another level to something they've been digging and burying. So it was like, okay, well, this is just another step leading towards more things that need to be uncovered. And so that is, that is the reason why I joined Sakari. If I wouldn't have joined Sicarii, probably would eventually would have joined another Hebrew Israelite group. I can't deny, or some, most, I would say probably most, but I'll just leave it as some of the evidence that leads or points towards the reality that blacks and Hispanics, or I don't want to use the word Hispanics, blacks and indigenous people, because if I say Hispanics, which are native, that would be like to say blacks, Haitians, Dominicans. I can't just say blacks and somehow include Haitians and, Dominicans, and, I had to say them separately. But obviously, when I say blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, I'm not excluding them. I'm including them with the blacks because they're considered as black. So, I don't say Hispanics because I'm including them with the natives because they are natives. So, blacks and native people are the true Israelites. So, yeah, most of the evidence, I cannot argue with it. So it only leads me to conclude that this is more than likely the truth. And so obviously I have to lean forward, I have to lean towards what the truth is, which is the scriptures. And um yeah, so I mean, I adopted my mentality into accepting the scriptures as my guidance, even though I looked at it as my enemy previously when I was under the notion that, the Bible is Christianity. But yeah, the what I hope to, or what I think of gaining out of it, or what I hope to gain out of being in Sakari, is a little bit more in depth on some scriptures. Um, Being able to break down scriptures a little bit better. Um, or at least understand them. Obviously, by understanding scriptures and what's taking place in the scriptures, I can break it down a lot better where I can reach people. Um, Also gained, what primarily I was trying to gain, in which I did gain, is understanding the law better. That was like the main thing. Like, there could be all these little things, like, I don't want to call it little, but they are comparison to that. brotherhood, getting to meet some of the members, getting to maybe relate with them. Um, you know, a more understanding or breakdown on, you know, scriptures, on what's taking place in the scriptures, who is who, what nation is what. But primarily, the biggest thing for me was to figure out how to how to keep the commandments. And that's what I thought of gaining through being in Sicarii. And I probably would have done the same thing with any other group. I would have joined another group. Is in whatever group I joined, I'm hoping to gain more understanding on how to observe the laws and commandments, biblically, accurately, and I have, you know, of the atonement, uh, Passover, um, Feast of Tabernacles, Sabbath, new moon, like these things. Like I seen them in the Bible, but I just like it wasn't there in my mind. Like, how do I observe this? Like, if I wanted to observe the Passover, I mean, I knew that I had to, eat lamb, and that it had to be cooked, obviously not raw. That it had to be cooked, lamb, and then I had to eat unleavened and um, bitter roots, bitter herbs, right along with it. But I mean, it was just like I really didn't know on how to pinpoint a day, like when it was supposed to take place. And so Day of Atonement was saying pretty much the similar thing. Like a lot of these days, not necessarily, I didn't necessarily knew exactly how to observe them accurately. I knew some aspect of how to observe them, but I wanted to know a little bit more to make sure I was doing it accurately, and also the dates, how to break down and how to figure out the dates when these things take place. Um, Obviously, everything's going to be kind of an assumption. Um, Notice every camp has different Day Atonement dates, different Passover dates. Yeah, it's Israel has not come to one accord when the dates are and all that stuff. But regardless, whatever you're convinced in, you have to do that. So that's it for me. Shalom. All praise to the Most High. Um, Shalom.